taking on the issue of race in America. And the guests you'll meet today will undoubtedly shock you with their extreme beliefs. Craig Cobb recently made headlines when his plans to buy up land in the tiny town of Leith, North Dakota, were revealed. You see, Mr. Cobb only wants one race of people to live in Leith: white people. Now, as you can imagine, that has everyone in Leith up in arms, especially the one black man who lives there, Bobby Harper. But before we get to that, take a look at Mr. Cobb's grand plan for Leith and ultimately America.
Leith, North Dakota, is like any other small town in Middle America. There are houses, a bar, a jail, a church. But there is one thing that sets Leith apart from other Western towns. Not everyone is welcome. At least, not if this man has anything to say about it. Meet Craig Cobb, a man on a mission to build a town that would exclusively let white people in and keep everyone else out.
Whites are the highest expression of DNA on the planet. So our golden rule is whatever is good for whites is the highest good, and whatever is bad for whites is not good. Millions and millions of people, white people in this country, have been driven out from urban areas. And when I say driven out, I don't mean because all of a sudden they see blacks or Hispanics move next door and they can't get along. I mean their kids get thumped on the street and in the schools, or their daughter gets raped. If we make this template for this village and others, you see, they'll do it all over the world.
Cobb took us on a walk through Leith to share his white supremacist vision.
This is my house. I paid $5,200 cash for it, sight unseen. This is our jail. We keep the non-humans here. We can easily take control of this town democratically. And they're unhappy about it. Too bad. This will be the park. And, you know, you can get an in-ground swimming pool. We can make it a heated pool for the children in summer or winter. And imagine the town we're here and we'd have spotlights on them at night. You can see all the people who come just to see what we have now. You know, I was going to give President Obama and Attorney General Holder a lot here, but we didn't want the white-collar crime rate to go through the roof.
One person who disagrees with Cobb's plan is Leith's only black resident, Bobby Harper. Bobby and his wife Cheryl say they are heartbroken at the thought of being run out of town by Cobb and his followers.
Everybody has the right to live wherever they want, okay? If Mr. Cobb had his druthers, would we be living here? No.
He brings hatred, and he's incapable of loving, so well, hey, he got to go.
Bobby and Cheryl Harper aren't the only residents determined to stop Cobb. North Dakotans from all over the state, particularly Leith Mayor Ryan Shook, are determined to stop Cobb too.
Somebody that wants to bring in a group of people to live here and make the economy boom is wonderful. Somebody that wants to bring in hate crimes and take over our government is not.
Despite the opposition, Cobb says he is determined to succeed.
What they're doing to me here is far worse than what the Germans did to Jews, because they're bringing the full brunt of governmental powers on one person, really, and on our tiny town.
And as for his dream to turn this sleepy western town into a town for whites only, Cobb says he's proud of his views.
If they call you a racist, say you're a racist. And the proper response is, why, thank you very much for the compliment. Are you one too?
Well, in a moment, for the first time ever, Craig will come face to face with Bobby Harper and his wife Cheryl and explain to them his plans to take over Leith. So, Craig, why do you want to do this?
We want to have a racially conscious community in the United States, and we want those to be replicated all over the world.
So you're just saying you want an all-white town?
We would prefer that, but we understand the inhumane 64 Civil Rights Law and the follow-up Fair Housing Act of 68. We know that those do not allow males to control their area anymore.
So you're saying that if black people wanted to live there, they could?
Our preference is that they would not, but I understand they have the full legal right to.
You said in that bit of tape there you feel treated in a worse way than the victims of the Holocaust.
Yes.
There haven't been millions of white people in this country being herded into gas chambers.
I'll tell you, they changed the sign in front of Auschwitz in the 90s from 4 million to 1.5 million.
You're a Holocaust denier as well?
That's all fallacious.
So I want to bring it back to Leith, and that's why we're here. Bobby and Cheryl, you've met them?
I met each of them very briefly.
What did you think of them?
I don't regard them any particular way. Now they're on my town council. They've been appointed, so they're exercising political authority over me. They want all the white supremacists out.
So you're saying they want you out of town?
Yes, they do.
And what do you think of an interracial couple like that?
In Leith, it's against the rules to have livestock. But Lee Cook has.
What? So,
you know, she
do you
has
mean?
her pet, you see. She has her pet.
Who's her pet?
Her husband is her pet. Yeah.
So what do you think about interracial children then?
It's not good. You know, look, Mr. Obama, he's a tragic mulatto.
So how did you go with... We've got a very diverse staff. What did you feel about, you know, coming here and...
You know what? I've been treated wonderfully by your staff. It's terrific.
Right.
And many of them are non-whites.
So are you worried sitting here with such a racially diverse audience?
No, you checked them for metal when they came in, right?
And we checked you too.
Yes, you did.
I want to come back to Leith because this is where you are at the moment with Bobby and Cheryl. What do you think the wisest choice of action for Bobby and Cheryl would be now? Would you prefer they just pack up and... Where would they go? Where would Bobby go?
I have never said Bobby had to leave, ever.
Oh,
but
never?
He said no, never. You know, I think that he probably won't enjoy being surrounded by racially aware white people, and it is going to happen.
So would a white Jewish person be welcome?
Welcome by whom? By Bobby and Cheryl, yes. By Mary Shook.
By you.
Well, I'm not going to have a welcome wagon convention for them,
Okay.
no.
What about homosexual or gay people? Would they be welcome?
I don't think we want a diseased town, no.
What about women? Women?
Women?
Yeah.
Yeah, women are certainly welcome. White women, sure.
So, is it just Leith that you're interested in, or are you looking for other property around North
other
Dakota?
Properties. We want to make it a template for whites. We've fled city after city. Philadelphia, Atlanta.
Who's we?
Whites.
So what do you want people to know about? What do you think, what would the dream be? If you're talking to people who are looking...
Well, I'll tell you on a macrocosmic scale. You know what? You keep Connecticut, you keep New York.
Oh, thanks.
You keep Atlanta, yes. You're UK. But don't come to our places. If these people in the cities who get stipends from Obama Make It Rain...
I understand you were quite taken with Allison.
Well, she's verbal. I'm glad that she had the prescience to ask me here, yes, thank you.
Would you like for someone like Allison to come live in your town?
I know about her DNA, if that's where you're going.
Oh. No, I'm just, when looking at...
Allison would be fine, yes.
She would be fine to live in your town?
I think so, yes.
And when if you want to...
Unless she thought we weren't, unless she's not a human, but I already know she is. I've asked.
She's a human?
Yes.
You asked her?
Yes.
And she said she was human?
Yes.
Oh.
She passed the test question. Otherwise,
What's
they're
the test question?
I've asked you already, yes. Would you allow us to live together amongst our own? Anyone who doesn't agree with that is pushed around, buffeted by propagandistic forces. We call it proposphere, the propagandistic atmosphere, which is everywhere in the Judean media.
Bless you, Craig.
Yes, yes. Why did you say that? Bless me.
Because I call it...
You might want to think about that.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, in a Trisha exclusive, Craig sits down for the very first time with Bobby and Cheryl Harper. Now, they want to ask Craig where his plan to build a white supremacist town leaves them. Stay tuned. We've been speaking with self-proclaimed white supremacist Craig Cobb, whose plans to build a whites-only town in Leith, North Dakota, have caused shock waves all over the world. Now, two people who are particularly upset about Cobb's plans are interracial couple Bobby and Cheryl Harper. Now, Bobby's the only black resident in Leith, North Dakota, and they refuse to let Cobb and his white supremacist followers run them out of town. Have a look at this.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Harper.
I'm Bobby Harper, and we're proud residents of Leith, North Dakota.
My mom had grown up here, and so they were very familiar with Leith. I felt that I wanted to be by my mom and dad as they were getting older. And so we moved up in May of 2008. My mom passed away about a month ago. She was ill, and so I'm glad she's not here to see this anymore.
We first learned about Mr. Cobb as being not normal, but we really didn't know his plan. And I spoke to him about maybe 50, 75 yards away one day, and he asked me if we have any land for sale. And I said no, but I noticed that he had a long 3/4 length coat on, and he didn't turn around for it. He kind of talked over his shoulder to me. And I told him no, and I didn't think too much of it. Recently, it all hit the fan when a reporter came up to our door and told us that Cobb's business was to take over the town.
We're called vile names. Bobby is constantly referred to as the N-word. Everybody has the right to live wherever they want. Okay. If Mr. Cobb had his druthers, would we be living here? To think that our lovely little town of Leith is now such an area of turmoil. You know, we didn't ask for any of this. We didn't ask for any of this. It's turmoil now.
Just step back, please.
Cobb doesn't scare me. He's not doing anything to me but talking. He brings hatred, and he's incapable of loving. So well, hey, he got to go.
Well, Bobby and Cheryl have never confronted Cobb face to face about his plans to take over their town, and they've come here today to do just that for the very first time. So here they are. Please welcome Cheryl and Bobby. Welcome. So, Mr. Cobb, Bobby, and Cheryl, you said in the tape piece there that you've been, or Bobby's been called all sorts of terrible things. Where have you been called these things?
On the websites that Mr. Cobb frequents.
You admit
Yes,
that?
not by myself, though. By my fellows.
By your fellows. Would you like to explain to Bobby and Cheryl
I think
where
he's
you think
familiar. If they've been reading the websites, you know, we're Americans, so we have the right to move anywhere. I don't see you making a big thing about a country, Israel, where there are 5 million Jews.
These are your neighbours, surely
Yeah,
you want to talk to them about it. I mean,
Here's the thing, a few times, twice at least, Tricia, you said I want a whites-only town.
Oh.
Bobby's there. I'm not compelling or trying to get Bobby to leave. He is uncomfortable because he doesn't like my friends or me.
How do you know he's
Isn't that right?
uncomfortable?
You're the one that said you didn't like my color of skin. You said that
It's
my
not
color
just,
of skin
I'm a
is
racial
not welcome
realist, Bobby.
in your town.
I'm a racial realist. No, I didn't say that.
You said that
no, I didn't
I'm not
say
welcome.
That.
You just said before something about Cheryl can have her pets.
Yes.
When you're referring
Yes,
to
you
Bobby?
said that.
Referring to me as a
Look,
pet?
what is Cheryl's IQ? Maybe
Am I a
one.
pet to you?
What is
Am
Bobby's
I a pet
IQ?
to you?
You're Cheryl's pet.
Why you want to demoralize me as a person
It's not
and call me a
demoralized.
pet?
Because you didn't have the intellectual acumen to realize that you must observe federal law.
Don't bring hatred. Do not bring hatred. If that's all you've got for us, I have to live with that?
So your concerns are the bringing of hatred. We keep hearing... What about love? Or does that not figure in your life?
Why don't we blare, all you need is love? Is that going to fix the town? By their standards?
Some questions. Why don't you answer the direct question?
What about love?
What can you,
We love our own people, and we want to see them stop being destroyed in this country by powers which are way beyond us.
What's changed in Leith as a result of Craig arriving?
Mr. Cobb's history in Leith has been nothing but deception and turmoil. When you came to Leith, sir, you were not honest about why you were moving there.
What, are you the honesty committee?
You didn't say anything about bringing in an all-white enclave. That's what you wanted. So it's been deception and turmoil. Once we found out what you were planning on doing, it has been nothing but turmoil.
You know
Our
why?
lives have, excuse me,
okay.
let me finish.
You
Our
finish.
lives have been disrupted. My mother passed away. I have not had time to mourn her. Shame on you. Shame on you.
When I saw the picture, Cheryl, Your mother was a good-looking woman. I don't know if
Excuse
she's
me.
German or
That
Nordic.
is none of your business.
It is.
And
She's
how
a good-looking
dare you
woman.
talk about my mother?
No, I'm telling you, she's a very good-looking woman.
You back off my mother.
Back off.
That's right. She said back off. Change the subject, please.
So,
Well, and a peaceful town, it sounds, a nice,
Very
peaceful town.
yes.
And then suddenly the press descends and white supremacists, and there's all this turmoil, which brings me back to my point. And Cheryl said first, it's only brought hatred. So I asked you about love, and you don't seem to be able to answer me about who brings in the love.
maybe we'll have to have ministers, but at least he has the sense to keep his people separate, which is really good.
So
That's love. You see how they're all orderly and they're dignified, and if you meet them, they say, yes, sir? That's the kind of black people I like.
Bobby, one of the things that impressed me about what you, Bobby and Cheryl said, despite all that's been going on, you seem to have, you said you prayed for Mr.
We
Cobb.
have to, because this man needs help.
As you've seen, our producers did travel to Leith, North Dakota to tour this tiny town that's causing so much controversy. Now, while they were there, a heated protest broke out and hundreds of people stormed the streets of Leith. We'll show you that footage when we come back, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. Earlier in the show, Leith, North Dakota residents Bobby and Cheryl Harper confronted self-proclaimed racist Craig Cobb about his plans to take over the town they live in and turn it into an enclave for white supremacists. Well, as you can imagine, Bobby and Cheryl aren't the only residents of North Dakota who are outraged. Our cameras were rolling when hundreds of angry residents descended on Leith to protest Cobb's plans. Watch this.
At 3 p.m. on a sunny Sunday afternoon, the quiet town of Leith, North Dakota, population 23, was descended upon by hundreds of protesters determined to stop Craig Cobb from turning this tiny, quiet town into a white supremacist enclave. With emotions running high on both sides, the police prepared themselves for the worst-case scenario.
The issue is white supremacy. That's what this is about. I'm hoping it goes well, but I'm prepared for an all-out riot.
It wasn't long before protesters descended on Cobb's house.
I find this insulting, though. I have family that fought in World War II against the Nazis, and it's insulting.
That's what North Dakota's about. It's about diversity. It's not about exclusion, it's about inclusion.
I cannot stand back and see this happen without being a voice.
Determined to convince residents to follow their vision, Cobb and his supporters rented out the local town hall to discuss their concept.
The National Socialist Movement is one of the only organizations, probably is the only white rights organization that is involved in that struggle, putting people down on the border.
You racist! You bigoted bastard!
We have the right to express ourselves.
Just step back, please.
However, there was no convincing the residents of Leith. They swore to not only protect Bobby and Cheryl, but to unite and overcome.
Cheryl, did you expect an outcome like that, a turnout like that?
No.
This gentleman came over to me and said, Bobby, you need to be out here. And then I got there, and there were more blacks there. The natives were there. They were really, really strong about their protests. And
the Native Americans.
Yeah,
then.
they were really upset.
Yeah.
And they was really making a point that, you know, they were here first, and how can a man come there?
The Native Americans were. It's quite obvious that people don't want you to succeed.
Why the hate?
I don't think it's hate, I think it's love.
How so?
Well, do you know what, have you experienced love?
Yeah, but how is what they're doing here love? They stole our property, they stole flags, They trucked them up from the reservation, and who did it was anti-racist action, which is they're paid by Jews. They're very violent.
But before we go down that route, because I'm just trying to keep us here, no hate in my state. Were you surprised that all of those people turned out to protest against you?
The way they thank us now is to tell us, thanks a lot, Whitey. Great job building the country. We'll take over now. Are you telling me that black people are loving people? Look at the things that...
Yes. Yes, we are loving people.
Okay, so what will happen next? What do you think will happen next?
We're going to take over Leith and other towns, too.
The people that live in Leith, we are praying over this, and the comments that I have heard, oh my goodness, yes. Oh, yeah. Mr. Cobb, God loves you.
Listen, the Abrahamic triumvirate Jebuism doesn't work on me, okay?
Welcome back. Welcome back. As you've heard, a lot of people are disgusted by Mr. Cobb's master plan to turn Leith, North Dakota, into a white society. But there's one person here today who surprisingly agrees with him. Very good. This woman, Sherazad Ali. Now, Miss Ali says that separation is not only good, it's necessary. And she would love to see Mr. Cobb succeed. Take a look at this.
I'm Miss Ali. And I believe in separation of the people. Separation is divine. And I think that everyone should have a right to live with their own kind. I don't want to live next to white people, and I don't think that that means I'm a racist either. I think that every people should be able to live with their own kind and have peace among themselves. Unfortunately, almost every black female star we have on television in the movies has dyed her hair blonde, because the blonde-haired white woman has been the only vision of beauty that we have been reared on. They have to have false breasts, false fingernails. That's a very bad example for our black girls. It shows that they are not good enough, and we're setting a bad example for them. And I think our black men are confused, because every time one of them get rich and successful, it comes with a kit here in America. And that kit is a house, a car, a yacht, and a white woman. And I think that that's so unfair to us as black women. And I think that our men need to look at the women that God created for them. In every nationality, there is a male and a female, and that was created for each other. This is a real situation about the separation of races. And if we can start taking steps toward it, like they're doing in North Dakota, I think that we could do it in peace without the government having to get in it. And one last thing. We don't have to worry about North Dakota becoming the capital of white supremacy. We already have one of those. It's called Washington, D.C.
Please welcome Miss Sherazad Ali to the show. Oh, she's there. Hi, Miss Ali. You're sitting right next to Mr. Cobb.
Nice to meet you.
Wow. Welcome, Miss Ali. Do you agree with Craig's vision for Leith?
Yes, I agree. I don't think that a person is necessarily a racist just because they want to live with their own kind. He deserves to live with his own kind, and we should be able to live with our own kind. And this is going to happen.
So where does that put Cheryl and Bobby?
Well, that puts Bobby in a position of trying to escape his own kind. Right now, in the black community, we have a shortage of our men.
But he's married to
But I'm saying
Cheryl.
a lot of the men that we do have, they go and marry white women, Filipinos, Asians, Mexicans. They marry other people other than us, and that represents a self-hate. I know you love him. Everybody loves the black man. He's the greatest man on earth, so I don't fault her for that. But I don't understand you. I need to be married to you instead of you married to her. If I was looking for a man, you wouldn't want me. You just want a white woman. Love is not a disease. You didn't catch love. So you decided you loved her instead of one of your own kind, somebody that looked like your mama. You decided to get somebody that looked like your former slave master.
Oh, no. My choice of love, it just came by God.
No, it did. Don't put God in that. No, sir. That's an individual decision.
I do believe that.
Most black men want a white woman. It's some kind of... And I'm sorry for that.
You might dealing with most white men. You're dealing with me.
I'm sorry for that. But we need to separate, too. I would love to have my black people separate. But black people are so addicted to white, they're not going to be able to leave you.
Do you and Craig agree on everything, then?
We may not agree on everything, but we agree on separation.
With Craig's assertion that white people are the superior race.
No, you can't be the superior. You only been here 6,000 years. We've been here over 76 trillion of recorded
Black
history.
Muslim tenant, I believe.
Sorry?
I believe that's a black Muslim tenant, so maybe Miss
No,
Eileen.
that's the truth. But this is a very serious topic.
But
and
Miss
we
Eileen,
are going to separate. You all need to get ready for that. There is going to be a separation.
Okay.
Yes, there is. I know y'all don't want to leave white people, but you're going to be forced to.
When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation on race in America, so don't go away. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today on Trisha, we're addressing bigotry in America. Now, we spent the last half of the show discussing this man, Craig Cobb's plans to turn the tiny town of Leith, North Dakota, into an enclave for white supremacists. We're also back with Miss Sherazad Ali. Miss Ali is a social commentator and self-proclaimed black supremacist. Now, also joining us on stage is our friend, author of Memoirs of an Extraterrestrial, The Negro Conundrum, Herman Williams. Now, he has an altogether different stance on race than these two. Herman, what do you make of what's going on in Leith?
Okay, well, first let me say this. I'm perhaps one of the only people of color I've actually sat down and had numerous conversations with racists, with people in the Ku Klux Klan, so I got it. But first I want to talk about Bobby. We're talking about two men here. All right, right now, I only saw one man on this stage, and that was this man right here, okay? One man, and the reason why I say that now, I'm not just talking platitudes. I'm just not making statements. The reason why I say this is a man and you are not is because everything that you're trying to do to this man, he still decided, he still came here. I'm a guarantee, I can judge character. If something was wrong with you and you needed somebody to save your life, this man would save your life. This man would save your life.
Why is he constantly lying, saying I told him to get out of town?
He would save your life.
It doesn't matter.
Next thing, you are both racist. Listen, black culture is a sympathetic embracement of white racist ideology. It was invented by Stokely Carmichael in the 1960s. Stokely Carmichael was a racist and a segregationist.
Well,
you are a racist and a segregationist. You are a racist and a segregationist.
He got a white woman, or
you know what?
One,
you know
and
what?
his brother got one too, so they already hate themselves.
You know what? It doesn't have anything to do. You know what I am? I am a human being on planet Earth. I share every single person in this room. Every single person in this room, including you, sir.
You
have the blood of Negroes in your body right now. You are not 100% white nothing.
Well, I know
there is a person on this planet. Hey, and you keep talking about the separation is coming. There's no separation. Look at this audience.
I know
this
you
is a
hope it's not, so you can get another one.
Multi-racism is here. Multi-racism is here. All of this, you are like a dinosaur.
Silly.
You are done.
I'm not
you are
like
extinct.
a dinosaur.
Your views are done.
I know you
are extinct.
I know you hope so.
You don't even know Bobby. Bobby, does he really know you?
You don't want to.
No, he does. He doesn't want to know you.
Trish, I guess what we're dealing with, and this is important, young people. We are not dealing with a generational difference. We are dealing with an educational difference. You all have not been taught the truth about the history. You haven't been taught.
Listen,
you just haven't been taught.
The reason why I would say get the heck out of town, but I'm not saying get out. The only reason why I would say get the heck out of town, because after having talked to dozens of racist, skinheads, Ku Klux Klan. You know what I found out, Bobby? No, you're a racist. But you know what I found out, Bobby? You know what I found out?
Hang on.
The education level is very low, and so you have a problem. You might get drawn into being stupid.
Welcome back. Today on Trisha, we're addressing bigotry in America. Now, we spent the last half of the show discussing this man, Craig Cobb's plans to turn the tiny town of Leith, North Dakota, into an enclave for white supremacists. I just want to see if anybody has any questions, any remarks, anything. Yes, sir. Stand up for me.
As I sit here, honestly, all I can say is I'm staring at disgust right now.
At who?
Fact that
At who?
You two right here. The fact that this, we're in 2013. The fact that this theory is still alive, that you guys can come up here and preach to us what's right and wrong.
Alive. You're just a young Uncle Tom, and you got to get taught out of
the
that.
The fact that you guys have the nerve to say separation is what we need, all this division, we need...
There's already
we have the nerve to call ourselves the United States of America. We're not even united because of people like you still alive here today.
You know what amazes the hell out of me here? I never thought I would meet the real Dumb and Dumber. We got here the Nazi and the Patsy, okay?
Are you
Am I a what?
Are you a
No, I am not. I'm
He's
Irish,
a secret
okay?
racist.
And
this
you know
is what they think
you make
that's
me
politically
sick. You know why you make me... Oh, shut up. I'm talking to you. You make me sick. And do you know why you make me sick? Do you know why you make me sick? You call yourself a damn American, right? You have Nazi flags flying on your property.
That's right.
Hundreds of thousands of Americans turned around and died to eradicate that damn symbol. You're not an American. This is my wife. You got a problem with my wife? And there's something else I want to tell you too, buddy boy.
How long is he going to be allowed
Excuse me, I am not talking to you. I got news for you.
Oh, yeah?
There's a group of investors getting together.
Oh, boy.
Right? Oh, yeah? Don't
let's hear this.
The group of investors is getting together, right? You think you can buy up a town? We can buy up the town a hell of a lot faster.
Oy vey.
And you know what else? Then we're going to run your ass the hell out of there.
Wait a minute. Why are you still letting him talk? Sit down. We heard you.
Shh. Okay. I'm black. And I am so unbelievably proud to be black, but I'm even more proud of the ability I have to love people who are not like me, okay? I understand you have your beliefs and everything else, and so do I. So you know what? I'm gonna pray for you. And I hope that you find healing for your sickness, and I hope that God has mercy on your soul, and I hope that someone is able to love you past your pain.
All right, Tricia, now I get to answer. Listen, this is women and whites. A lot of whites are into anti-reality. You know, they're into fantasy, and they support this, and it's going to burn the world if they don't stop it. They need to be put down when they do that until they're reduced to tears.
You all trying to make us look ridiculous. Yeah. We're not ridiculous.
Whether we like it or not, I guess whether everybody here likes it or not, I guess the reality is all of us here are the past, and this is the future, whether you like it or not.
Come to Leith when we're the majority soon. You'll see the future. All right?
Lastly, Mr. Cobb, there is one last thing we want to do. While touring Leith, you had a conversation with our producer, Alison, about a heritage DNA test that she took on the show. I know, Mr. Cobb, you were surprised to hear Alison's results of her genetic DNA test. There was you had 19% sub-Saharan. Wow, nice white girl like her, you just can't tell.
Tell me that you did one for him.
Wow. No, we didn't do one for him, but we would like to offer you one right now, a DNA test.
Bring him out here.
All right.
I did 3 with 23 and me.
Too, though. I want to know exactly where I came from.
Would you like one too?
Yeah, because we were robbed of that knowledge.
All of this.
Mr. Cobb, can I ask you, because we've run out of time, my final question is, what are you going to do if you find out you have a little black in you?
He does.
All right. I really want to give a heartfelt thanks to everyone. I really want to give a heartfelt thanks to everyone who's taken part in today's show. Bobby, Cheryl, it has been a pleasure to meet you. I say that because everybody else here is used to talking in public. I know it took a lot for you to travel all of this way and, you know, expose your private life. So I thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you to all of my guests today, and thank you all for watching this special edition of The Tricia Show. We'll see you tomorrow.